Okay everybody, this is part 3 to my last video and my video before my last video. So if you do not watch those two, this whole video will not make sense in the slightest, okay? But I'm gonna be continuing from the last thing I showed from part 2, okay? Okay, so after Craig lies, he says this. You could read it on screen. And then Craig says this. And then Kira says, objection. There's something very wrong about what you just said, Craig. Did you want to go ahead and point out the issue with their statement, my client? And then here, you press the bottom option. And then Kira says it's true, Your Honor. On top of that, Craig's description of the thief fits any koala. And then Craig says, oh yeah, that's true. And then this random person says this. And then also says, wait, sorry, I got caught up in the heat of the moment, I didn't mean to say that. And then the elder koala says, guards, take him away, we'll deal with him later. But now Keelage is back and he says this. And then the elder koala says, defendant, are you an outsider who snuck in with the sole intention of swaying the treetops to open doors to outsiders? And then pretty simple, you just press the bottom one, you just say no. Then the elder koala says, aw good, I was worried you weren't from around here. And then Keelage says this. And then Kira does something shocking. She says, Keelage is right, my client is an outsider, but I was the one that told him to do this. The treetops was my home, you were my family, but ever since we stopped letting the outsiders in, things got messy. I tried to convince my brother to come with me, but he insisted on staying and making a difference here. But even after all this time, nothing has changed for the better. Our biggest obstacle isn't a non-koala, it's ourselves. We are the treetop's biggest threat. And then the elder koala says, what do you say, Keelage? And then Keelage says, I have nothing to add to that, elder. Kira's right. And then the elder koala says, from this day forth, the treetop's location shall be open to all animals. And well, that's the good ending, and that's all for the 3-part series. So goodbye, and I'm sorry for not posting for like 3 days, but yeah, I was busy. But anyways, that's it, so goodbye.